Hey guys, how's it going? This is Metal Days here, back with the video 2 of the tutorial series of Visual Basic. So we're going to pick up where we left off. We're going to use the same program here, since I think this message box thing is a pretty cool tool to show you guys the different types of variables and what you can do with them and stuff like that. So again, what I'm explaining in these beginner videos are basically the real down to earth basics. I'm not going to do anything complex right now, so for those of you who know how to program already, or at least a little bit, you're gonna have to wait for the other tutorials. so um, so yeah, so this part is just for beginners who've never programmed before, or have programmed very little and not in Visual Basic. So here we go. We're gonna start. I'm gonna show you different types of variable types. Yeah, different types of variables. Sorry. And I'm gonna show you like a couple of shortcuts and stuff like that. So let's get started. As you can see here, if we pick up where we left off, let's take this out. Let's not make that a string. In the last video, you probably wondered, wait a second, why is he using two variables to say the same thing, or to store the same information? Well, if you wondered that, you are correct. This is not proper code. You don't, variables can, in the end, after doing many operations and stuff, can have the same result, okay? But if you just declare it like that, it's not really proper code. Trust me, it's not proper. Like if you do this for a class and the teacher sees this, she's gonna be like, or she, I say she because I had programming teachers that were females. He or she will say, why are you assigning two variables with the same information, or the same function, or the same whatever? Or if you get a programming job and if your boss comes up and reads your code and he's like, can I talk to you for a second? What is this? So it's kind of improper code. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you something. Let's get this out of here. And we want the same result, okay? We want to add 1 plus 1, and then we want to subtract it again. So you can do this. You can use the same variable in the same function. It's not going to give you an error. This we're just going to ignore. It's just a warning. We will use add to later. I just want to show you this. So we're going to run it, and it gives you 0. So as you can see, you can repeat variables. If you just have add 2, 1 plus 1 again, it's kind of redundant. So we're not going to do that. We're going to assign a different value. We're going to say 2 times 2. Okay. So what this is going to do, it's going to take 2 and subtract 4. So the result should give us -2. Exactly. So this thing is like it's a calculator practically. Okay, so that's the integer part. Let's do something else. Let's take add and turn it into a decimal. Okay? And let's say 1.5 plus 3.5. And we do the same thing. This should be 5 minus 4, which should give us 1. Exactly. So you can mix up, you can't mix up all variables. Some are compatible with others. These are compatible with each other. I'm going to show you a neat trick now. So you don't have to declare the variable up here and then give it its value down here. What you can do is you could take this, cut it, and paste it right there. Get rid of that add thing. Let's get rid of this too. And cut and paste that here. And we'll run the program. And as you can see, it's the same result. This is pretty neat. First of all, you don't have to waste lines of code for this. And second of all, I don't know, I think it's easier. I think it's a lot neater. It's a lot more organized, and people like using this a lot better. I unfortunately, in my job, like I said in my previous video, I'm using VB for access, which is extremely primitive, and this will give me an error. I cannot do that, so I have to do it the way I did it before. Dim, add as decimal, and then give it its value down here, which kind of sucks and takes time away. Because obviously I'm creating variables that are not really integers, that are more complex stuff, but we'll get into that in other videos. More stuff, more variables. Let's get add2 out of here. Let's create a variable. I'm going to show you what a Boolean variable is, okay? This is something that's really important if you just want to make sure that something is right or wrong, or true or false. So let's try this variable bool, because you can't write Boolean because that's oh, you can. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so as Boolean. Actually, yeah, I knew that. I was surprised that it didn't turn to blue, because it's supposed to turn to blue if it's a reserved word. Noob. So we'll just write B. Variable B is a Boolean. Boolean only assigns a value. Let's write this B. Sorry. Boolean returns the true or false values. It doesn't return a number, it doesn't return a statement, it doesn't return, a string, it doesn't return anything that's not true or false. So, to make it clear, I will assign B as you can see, this thing interrupted me. The only two values you can assign is either true or false. So in this case, we'll assign true. Okay? And let's run this and see what happens. See what appears in the message box when we run it. True. Okay. So, let's give it a false value. Okay. False. As you can see, this stuff is pretty simple. There are a lot of variable types. These are just the most common ones. Oh, I forgot to show you guys one thing before closing out this video on variable types, or basic variable types I should say, as string. Okay, let's change the name of this and write str. str equals, let me just say, end of video. Okay, str. We always have to change, whenever you change a variable name, if you change a variable name here, you're going to have to change it for the rest of your program. It's not going to change automatically, and so that's going to give you errors at it, as it gave me errors before I changed all this. You saw these squiggly underlines and message boxes that appear everywhere saying, oh, this is wrong, blah. So so anyway, we assign to the variable str a string, obviously, because since we assigned it as a string type. So if you want to assign it a string, you have to always put it in quotations, as I said in the first video. So we're going to do that. We're going to run it, press the action button, end of video. So, but before I end the video, I just want to make it clear that a string doesn't have to be a sentence. Okay, it doesn't have to be a sentence. Doesn't have to be a numerical, or I'm sorry, a mathematical function like 1 + 1, like we did in the first video. It could just be this. Oops, sorry. Haha, got a little carried away. I don't know. All these symbols. All right, and it will just print that out. So I mean, a string is whatever you put in between these quotes. That's what it is. You know, and the program will read it as just that. It's not gonna do anything for it. You know, like I explained in the first one. So that's basically all we have for the basic string. I mean, the basic variable types. So in the next tutorial, I'm going to start going into more complex stuff like if statements and loops and stuff like that. So don't worry, I'll go slow and I'll show you guys everything that I believe is necessary to be successful at this. So if you guys don't understand anything, or if you guys have any questions, please comment or send me a private message or whatever, and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you for watching. This has been video number 2 for the Visual Basic tutorial, and this is Metal Days signing off.